It is a hand-carved swan. Here we go. Of course, it was brought in with the broken neck, and it's been repaired before. You can see the sanding had been on there at some point. So if a kid actually, you know, sat on it and rocked on it, they probably grabbed it by the neck, and that's a vulnerable spot. So I could understand why it would have broken more than once. And you see all the sand spots here that no one ever actually touched up. But there's a dowel there, and some sort of glue in here, and some masking or some scotch tape here. So what's wonderful about this is a few things, right? Look at the hand paint on the beak and eyes. I mean, absolutely so well done, obviously by a talented decoy carver. So, and then once we looked it over, we realized, well, look, yeah, it is surely signed by the artist right down there, done in 1982, so not particularly antique or anything. But when we looked up the artist, he's a well-collected artist and sells at auction for some decent dollars. And we just love it. So we gave her two options. We're gonna preserve it, which would mean we keep the artist paint, even though it's worn and a bit dirty. We keep the artist paint to the original hand of the artist on here. We redowel the neck and blend in the paint once we're done, and then do a very light cleaning of the entire piece. So it would be really just a beautiful example, almost folk art looking, even though not folk art age in terms of the antiques. Would be like our first choice. So we gave her that option, and then we gave her another option where we repaint the entire thing, not knowing what her desires were. So we did that, gave her the option, and I explained that she asked me, hey, what do you think? What do you think I should do? And I say, hey, I totally think from an art perspective, we keep that original paint on there. I mean, you know, that would be the part that's most desirable. And in decoy collecting, as a little tidbit, original paint in decoys from the turn of the century, a bit earlier, and even early part of the 20th century are the most desirable. Repaints on working decoys drastically reduce the value. Original paint, untouched, is even more valuable without any shot marks in it from the duck hunting and that sort of thing. And just a little tidbit, and I can do a separate episode on this in the near future, decoys are massively collected. There's only a small percentage that have a decent and sometimes substantial value, but by and large, if you can find one of those babies, you could have a treasure on your hands. So keep that in mind. I've seen decoys sell in the range of 10, 15, 20,000, 50,000, 80,000, 100,000, $500,000. There are some that have sold for over $1 million. So look in your garage, look in your attic, check your parents' shed, and see if they got some old decoys around, and then send me a picture. I'll tell you what I know. Okay, guys, welcome back. Here's an update on our rocking horse swan. Isn't it beautiful? Fantastic. So we've got the neck all back together here, rock solid. Is a full dowel. We showed you, or we'll show you the pictures of the dowels in place, and it was really, really solid. So then from this point, I mean, that's really great. So from this point, we'll do the prep surface. As you recall, the client chose to refinish the entire exterior. We're gonna save the beautiful detail of the original artist paint on the beak, touch up a little bit of this edge here, keep that, and then the signature on the bottom, but otherwise it's getting a full repaint. So we're happy to be at this point with it. Okay, update when she's in the booth.